Wall Street reacts as shoppers do not turn out for Black Friday. So what does this mean for your stimulus check? I told you this morning that all eyes would be on Black Friday and the question about retail consumption and consumer confidence amid the pandemic growing. What does that mean for your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package? Meantime, a push is underway to get the $2,400 out for viewers on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security and Railroad benefits. And more viewers continue to get big money from this channel. I'll be going over a little bit of that grant money that you all qualify for, even if you're on SSI and SSDI. Then we turn to holiday decor. We're back outside and the weather is beautiful. And boy, it's now a better example than ever before to show you why you can use nature in a way in which nature intended it to be used. Just keep it with the holiday spirit. And it's free and it's all festive. This is Holidays LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We are back outside as the weather improves for Holidays LALATE. I'm so glad you joined me for our easy breezy, lighthearted daytime show that starts with some second stimulus check updates for about 10 minutes. And then at the 10-minute mark, I get to some holiday cheer. How you get through holiday decor for free without spending a penny, using stuff that's around and to not today with nature's bounty. What nature gave us, that's all free and really quite festive. Let's first get to what's going on today. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because boy, I am getting viewers thousands of dollars every few hours. Last night on Purple Power Live, there was no less than a half a dozen viewers who were just simply saying, hey, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. It was rent, it was utilities. It was anywhere from $500 to $20,000. It was rent, it was utilities, it was food. I'm fighting to get you money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 years from now. And it's important because, you know, Congress is not getting you money today. There is no stimulus check going out today. There is no stimulus check going out on Monday. But what is going out is money to thousands of viewers, tens of thousands of viewers of this channel, of which I've gotten $250,000. No one knows how to get money better than me. I got viewers $5 to $25 million on EIDL between the months of April and May of this channel. And now with 333,000 subscribers, I'm pushing to get you more money that is your money right now. So please subscribe. Also like the video. And thank you for the very nice, kind remarks for Happy Thanksgiving. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of ball. And I personally want to thank that one viewer who said I was alone on Thanksgiving. And thank you for keeping me entertained, because that was my spirit. I didn't care if there was one person I had to entertain. I was there to entertain you. So let's get to second stimulus and second stimulus updates today. Wall Street was going to look at consumer spending today as a gauge of where this economy was. And it was, and I said that on Mornings LA, and now we see the indicator already. Stores are empty. There are no lines. And the consumer spending is not there. And this is a very strong message for Congress that stimulus needs to go out. Wall Street understands that COVID is around. Wall Street understands that COVID fears are still around, but Wall Street ultimately believes that lack of consumer spending is because of stimulus. Unemployment, stimulus checks, all those big issues. How do you spend money if you don't have a stimulus check? How do you spend money if you're unemployed and you are getting unemployment money, but you're watching this channel and I'm telling you there is nothing from Congress that's extending your unemployment past December 31st? Are you going to go out and spend money? Of course not. And so ultimately, Congress is setting up Americans to not be consumer confident. Consumers are becoming unconfident because there's no indication that a stimulus check is going out today or tomorrow or next week. There is no indication as to when, as to if unemployment benefits are going to be extended, whether it's a state level or a national level. Now, between my recordings and Steve Mnuchin and Mark Meadows and Mitch McConnell, they all indicate that stimulus is coming. That stimulus will be coming during the holiday season, and that stimulus is on its way. And I believe, based upon prudent congressional leaders, if they act prudently and diligently and rational, that you will get stimulus during the holiday season. But ultimately, viewers spend money based upon money received, and they haven't received it. On the morning's LALATE program, I spoke about this, and I spoke about how Wall Street said send out stimulus right now. People don't have money to spend during the holiday season. They basically barely have money to make their rent, let alone haven't made money on their rent. Evictions are growing across the country, and viewers said, I'm not spending a penny on Black Friday. What are you talking about? I'm just not spending anything on Black Friday. I'm not going out. I had no money to spend on Thanksgiving, and now I'm not spending money on Black Friday. And this is certainly the message that Wall Street is sending to Congress, and I'm the message that's indicating today. So is there a stimulus package going out? Would you get a stimulus package? How much would it be? When would it happen? And is this sort of the crux that has to really push the narrative? I believe it is. I believe that consumer spending or lack of consumer spending over the next 2 days will send a very clear message to Congress that this is the time to get stimulus out. You have to understand that Black Friday numbers are generally revealed within a few hours after Friday. So we'll have some data tomorrow, and we'll have some data on Saturday. Small Business Saturday is Saturday, and then Cyber Monday is on Monday, which, of course, Walmart and Amazon are going to do wonderful business because they always do. But Congress is going to see these atrocious numbers and realize, wait a second, what are we doing? Are we just destroying our economy? Is that the purpose? Destroying livelihoods of Americans? And I think that will be the wake-up call. In the last few days, there has been really good things happening in strange parts of this economy. And ultimately, the thing that I'm concerned for you is that Republicans would latch onto something really good and explain that everything else is good, which is not. The housing starts, good. Stock market, good. But that has no indication of how you're doing. So stimulus checks going out, I believe they're going to go out if Congress acts diligently and logically. How big? I don't think it's going to be anything enormous. Could they repurpose that CARES Act 1 money? That's $800 billion that's sitting around from SBA and send out as a stimulus check. Yes, that's the narrative you have to get out very loud and clear. You got to take the video and share it on Twitter and Facebook and say, hey, if you're not going to do anything else, just do that. Take that money at SBA, send it out as a stimulus check. That would be a $5,000 stimulus check. That would really solve a lot of problems. And you know what economists said this Monday is that stimulus check gets in the hands of people's into people's hands faster than anything else. And I've been telling you that as well. If they did that CARES Act 1 money to SBA $5,000, you would have it in 10 days. I mean, there is nothing else out there that gets you money in 10 days. When we're talking about extending unemployment benefits and UI and PUA, yes, that's really needed. But the money won't land there in 10 days. It'll get delayed. Now, if they did it now, it won't get delayed. You have to understand that FPUC, UI, and PUA are expiring in just a few days. And ultimately, what's going to happen is that viewers are not going to have benefits come January. And that's not sufficient. So where do we sit here today? I think that UI, PUA will get extended. I think the states are going to step in and give extended benefits as well. More about that on Mornings LA, which I'll drop in the comments above, and I'll cover that on Check. The state extension of unemployment benefits compared to the federal extension of unemployment benefits, they can both help you. States cannot extend PUA, but they can extend UI. FPUC will be retroactive. I believe it will. But back to July, that's a hard sell with these people. And then hazard pay. Is that going to happen? Hard to say. But what's important to understand is that there's money available for you right now. And ultimately, you and I are going to stay on focus for stimulus checks. You and I are going to stay on focus for hazard pay. And we're going to stay on focus for that $2,400 for SSDI, SSI, and Social Security benefits. Joe Biden wants you to have 3 things on top of a stimulus check, So this is non-replacement to a stimulus check. He would also give you $2,400 if you're on SSDI, SSI, and Social Security and railroad benefits. $200 a month every month from now to December 31st of next year. Then he wants to give you an annual step up of about 20%, and he wants to give you a new benchmark that would increase you year to date. So basically, he wants to get you up to the present. He wants to keep you ahead or consistent with the economy going forward, not behind. And he also wants to supplement you for what you endured during this pandemic because he believes you were not compensated appropriately. I agree 100%. Many of you never got a stimulus check the first time around because you're an adult dependent. You were an adult dependent on someone else's tax return and you just didn't get anything. So as you sit here today, what is the focus? The focus is getting on social media and pushing. Purple Power has not had a big push in a while. And the push should be to repurpose that CARES Act 1 money that's at SBA, old PPP money, and send it as a stimulus check. Do it as a standalone bill. Don't wait around. Do it as a standalone bill. They hear your tweets. Mitch McConnell, his communications director, who does not have a half trillion followers, he has, I don't know, 5,000 followers. He will see your tweet, or she will see your tweet. So tweet Mnuchin, tweet Meadows, tweet McConnell. Say, I need this money, and send a narrative with it that's very loud and clear that says, something like, I had no money for Thanksgiving. I couldn't have a turkey. And now I need money to survive this winter. And you need to really send out the stimulus check. And it needs to be bold and large. It cannot be $1,200. As one viewer sort of shook their head and said, I agree. It was Barbara Perez, last time Purple Power Live. She asked me, how big do you think the stimulus check will be? And I said, I'm worried that broadcast news reporters keep on saying, will there be another $1,200 stimulus check? And I'm like, stop saying that, broadcast news, because that makes people think that $1,200 is a good number. And ultimately, if you keep on doing that, that may be the number. Ultimately, you need to make the narrative loud. 333,000 followers on the channel, 250,000 on Twitter, 50,000 on Instagram. Follow me on every location, and get the narrative out very loud and clear. We're a powerful group of people, and we need to get the message out loud and clear. With that, let's get to some holiday cheer. One of the important things that I started Holidays LALATE with to discuss was that basically you can celebrate the holidays with God's bounty, with everything that's around you in nature. And if you see these two items, you may wonder, what is that? But it's so festive. I mean, it just looks quite beautiful. And it has almost no scent, which is good. You don't want anything that's too scent overwhelming. And imagine putting something like this on the counter table and just sort of dressing up a cup or a mug or a glass or a dish, or just put it on the dining room table. You know how long this will last? This will probably last you about a week and a half to 2 weeks with nothing to do to it. It's cut. I just cut it when I sat down here. You see some of it in the background right there. The reason why I wanted to go outside was to show you how dynamic coloring is from God's creations. There is nothing you can buy that's store-bought that has this type of color. What is this? This is basically a pepper. We call it a pepper tree here in LA. It's a wild tree. It grows sprouts. You can grow it everywhere. It can be quite wonderful. It just never dies. It just keeps on growing and growing. And what's beautiful about it is that it is so green. It is like a dark green color. And you can see I'm wearing a very light green shirt with white in it. I'm sure it's coming up a little bit blue in the camera. But this green is so dynamic. And what I want you to understand is that ultimately, I understand some of you are in cold weather climates where there's no greenery, there is no evergreen trees. You may have dropped the leaves where you are currently. But ultimately, there's always something on the ground that God dropped that truly is beautiful. Yesterday night, here in LA, you could not hear it because I was clearly taping inside, but there were 30-mile-an-hour winds. Can you imagine 30-mile-an-hour winds? Imagine what's on the ground today. It's absolutely incredible. I have not had the time to really walk around and stroll, but I'm seeing leaves everywhere on the ground. They're just incredible. And that's what I want you to remember, is that whenever wind comes in, that means there's going to be some beautiful stuff on the ground. It could be leaves, it could be twigs, it could be branches. And I want to show you an example of something. If you've been with me since the very first recording of Holidays LA, which was almost about a month ago, we've been doing this series. This is one of the very first things I detailed on this channel. It was a beautiful fronton, and I showed it to you outside. And this was something I found the last time the wind came in. And this is so enormous that it's literally, it's taller than some reality TV stars. It's almost as high as my hair today. It's bigger than Marco Rubio. It's a big thing. It's a big fronton. And the inside is just lush. And the reason why I'm bringing this back is because I saw it when I walked on set outside, and I said, you know what? That was that thing that I had on set back a month ago, and it still looks the same. It still looks the same. It looks incredible. And what's important to understand is that a lot of God's stuff is, it doesn't have quick shelf life. It'll last you all the way through the holiday season. You may be able to just do the decor one time and one time only. Unlike Congress doing stimulus checks, the guy meet and negotiate for 500 years. You could probably do this just one time and be done. Done and done. And that's the beauty of God's nature, is that ultimately what I want you to understand when you're decorating this holiday season is keep your palette and hues simple. Don't make them complicated. Don't make them clown colorish. No one likes clown colors. I call it. No offense to the clowns. If I have any clowns watching me, I'm deeply respectful to you. I'm not insulting you. But no one likes clown colors. I mean, they just don't. Orange, yellow, blue, green, all in the same bowl. I'm like, what is that? That's a clown design decor. So no one likes clown colors. Make your color palette sort of relatively in the same universe. You see green here, shirt, and green here, and then green back there. All versions of green. Make it all relative. You can have a contrasting color, but don't have 5 contrasting colors or 6 contrasting colors. Then keep it very simple and easy breezy. These leaves, look, I'm pulling on them. They're not coming off. They will not come off. They will not come off any time in which you're using this holiday decor. They'll last you the whole holiday season, and they'll keep them nice and easy breezy. And that's what's important to remember, is that decor should be simple. It should be fun. It should be earthy. It should be festive. And especially during these financial times, it should be relatively economically feasible. And this is free. With that, join me afternoons later at 3:30 with Check. Big developments on afternoons Check. And then following that, Purple and Being a Mitch. Then at evenings, join me at Evenings LALATE at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Check, Evenings Check. We'll have data coming in from Black Friday. And then Purple Power Live. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in LA for more.